Good evening, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Mr. Laxmi Prakash Semwal, who will speak about value chain of tomato. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, the viewer of agriculture information. Due to bad weather in Uttarakhand in Himalaya during last three times, this meeting was postponed when prices of tomato really skyrocketed. I would like to talk about value chain of tomato and reason behind price volatility of tomato and other fresh produce in India and also worldwide. If we look on the value chain of any fresh produce, any vegetables, they are started from pre-production related to supply of seeds and input, reaching of nurseries, and then production, where we looks on plantation, cropping system practices, and again input supply during the plant growing the plants, the growth of crops, and then harvest and post-harvest, where farmers or their collectives pluck the fruit in case of berries or fruits like tomato or any other vegetables, the harvest of vegetables from fields, and then collecting those produced from individual farmers to the to deliver for transporting to marketplaces. Then it's also during post-harvest and processing practices, also distribution practice, transportation, auction or selling in APMCs or any other market point. These are distribution systems. And then the retail chain, from where the supply of tomato or vegetables started buying from APMC or wholesaler and delivering it to the consumers. So it's 3-4 stages of pre-production, production, post-harvest, collection, distribution, and delivery to the consumers, where the prices always determined by the suppliers at the back end and by the buyer at the fore end. It's depend on the volume of production is 1, demand in the market is 2, and storage time, transportation and storage time of the particular fresh produce. In case of tomato, it's very short, and these factors really determine the price. If you look in Indian tomato market, generally the prices are very high in month of July and August due to arrival of monsoon at that time and end of the harvest season in Gangetic Basin in the northern India, when at that time only tomato supplied from part of Maharashtra, Rajasthan, from the hilly area of Himachal and Uttarakhand, and Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So due to these factors of monsoon and rains, every year the prices of tomato during July and August are very high, while during the month in northern India, during the month of March, April, and May, it was very low. It is already very low every year. It was also very low this year, and due to that, the farmers who are planning to produce tomato for supply during July and August in hilly area or in Deccan Plateau or in the western India, they really thought due to the very low prices during March, April, and May, they thought the prices will not go up during July also. We have very many farmer collectives, small farmers collectives in Uttarakhand, who are growing tomato also, and they are supplying those tomato during July and August to the cities like Dehradun, Delhi, and other northern Indian cities. When we asked our farmers why they are they are generally plant more crops during 1 year and very moderate or less plantation area for next year. It's year by year. Uh, they all replied only one answer with them. Like this year in 2002-3, the sowing of tomato was very low, and that's the pain. One is the lowest price of tomato from Uttar Pradesh and Haryana during March, April, and May. And another factor is during last year, 2022, it was poor realization of tomato during July, August also. So if in 1 year tomato prices are low for the farmers, they stop or they reduce the area of cultivation for next year, and then obviously the production, the total harvest, the realization of tomato is low, and it's cause it's causes to the higher prices in the market. And it's happened everywhere in the country, in every production area, either it's Haryana or Uttar Pradesh or Uttarakhand, Himachal or Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh is the largest tomato growing state in India. Everywhere it's happened because lack of integration of the supply chain partners, because lack of joint risk-taking capacity and joint profit-sharing mechanism for the stakeholders. Also, lack of the planning of demand and supply chain management by all the players in supply chain. And it's not only with tomato, but also with potato, with onion, with other fresh vegetables. In the supply chain also, there are more dominance of the market players, like artisans, like the middleman in APMC, in Mandi. They are the seed suppliers. They act as intermediaries for seed suppliers, seed supply. They also supply the credits to the farmers. They supply the logistic, like in case of tomato, they supply the crates for bringing a tomato crop after post harvest to the market. They also auction the tomato in marketplace for the particular farmers, and they are the main player in the supply chain. So, due to their exceptional role in supply chain, they control the whole chain through input supply in supply of seed and input in case of tomato. If they are supplying a particular seed for the given years, and that seed, that particular variety, having problem with the production, with the disease control, with the climate resilient, then the crop failure also depend also uh, causes for the low productivity. This year, in 2023 season, our farmer collectives bought more of the seeds from one particular company, because last year that variety gave better prices, comparatively better prices than the other variety. And this year, that particular variety was very much prone to the disease caused by excessive rains and moist weather during June and July. And due to that, the production was very low, not only in Uttarakhand, but in other area also. Few farmers who didn't planted that particular variety entirely and choose a mix uh, system of planting multiple varieties, they have a better production from other varieties, and they got better prices. This is the one reason, and one way of explaining supply chain. The other factor, which is from the farmer perspective, they have very strong opinion that if production is low, they have better returns on their investment. They have better return from per piece of land. They have better return for their crops. If you look this year's prices for our farmers, they got 100 rupee per kg, 210 per kg during July, and not less than 50 rupee per kg during end of July and uh, start of August. Again, the prices are going up. So for them, if one farmer produce 500 crates of tomato, they got not less than 10 lakh rupees for the land where he planted last year, and got 1,000 crates for better cropping season of 2022. But the prices the farmer received last year was not more than 20 rupees per kg. And sometimes it was 5 to 10 rupees per kg. And in that case, they get only they received only 3 to 5 lakhs last year, and this year 9 to 12 lakhs for the same land, for the for less production, where they saved money in handling, in packaging, in transportation, and many other things. So that is the farmer perspectives of lower production and higher prices of the tomato. But and if you look from their perspective, it is good. Also, if we see everywhere in media space or in other dialogues among the agri-economics or other well-wisher of farmers, they are happy with these prices. But the total consumption of tomato went down due to these prices, and the consumer individually also paid more for the for the same quantity, and majority of consumers stopped buying tomato, consuming tomato due to the higher prices. What is the solution, in my opinion? And what our partnership model or cross-sector collaboration model of farmers and consumers collaboration for win-win situation is offering? The process depends on the demand supply, and supply chain management in that case is an important role to play, and we need to design such a system of pre-production, production, harvest, post-harvest, supply chain, and distribution, transportation, that the consumer can get each time the good quality and required volume of vegetables, and producer, the farmers also can get a reasonable, profitable prices for their produce. Reasonable and profitable means they have to recover their cost of input and labor, cost of transportation and supply, and also some profit over it for planning their even the financial cost, and for earning a decent minimum livelihood for their families. So this is also very, very important term, the decent minimum livelihood for the farmer's family is a design where they also can support to produce multiple crops, and support the supply chain system to supply enough food, either it's vegetable or grains or fruits or whatever is, to the consumers. So the supply chain management needed a very deep thinking of the players involved in supply chain. At the first point, farmers and farmers collectives need to play important role. They need to plan, and they need to the state, the government, and the businesses and the consumers also need to support them, and give them all kind of support in terms of finance, in terms of technology, in terms of demand supply management, to produce the food for them, the food for the consumers, or for the country, for the state, for the market, for the buyer. So this is completely lacking, and in particularly in case of fresh produce, whether it's tomato or milk, or any other fruits, the linkages between actors of supply chain, means the consumer, the businesses, states, and states functionary, regulators also, and the producer is completely missing. And in India, in every state, we need to design such a system where all these players uh, should come at one place for planning, execution, and management of their supply chain after assessing the demand and supply of a particular produce. We at our Anamrit Farmers Honor Foundation try to convince all the actors of supply chain of apples. Also now we are trying for green peas and tomato in that area with other farmers to to collectivize their farmers collective either in the shape of cooperative society or as a mutual benefit trust of farmers or farmer producer companies, and then we facilitate we facilitate those farmers collective to make a joint ventures with the businesses, with the company who are in the businesses of storage, who are in the business of transportation and distribution of the apple. And now we are trying also for green pea and tomato. So our experience with this apples joint venture companies of farmers, investors, and businesses was really good. And we started these joint ventures in 2007. And we finally set up a long-term storage facility of Apple in 2011. And all the businesses of collection, pre-cooling, reefer transport, and storage are going very well since 2011 till now, and farmers are getting better prices. Consumers are getting better quality apples at reasonable or comparatively lower prices than the others during off-season like May and June for April, May and June for apples. We our partnership also uh, lead to reduce the imports of off-season apple, and it's the import substitution for that. Also, it can it can be in the case of tomato and onion and other, and of and investor are getting their investment back at reasonable time. So we at the end also with the supply chain of tomato or the supply chain of onion or potato or other fresh vegetable, the active partners or the actors of supply chain with state, with the government functionary, with the regulators need to be comes at one platform through the partnership with their specific role to play and provide enough uh, qualitative quantities to the consumers and produce the reasonable amount of any kind of foods, particularly fresh fruit and fruits and vegetables for the for benefit of the farmers, for a decent earning level of the farmers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the detailed talk. I'll take up some questions. Okay. So what are the best pest and disease management strategies for ensuring healthy tomato plants?
I'm not in production side. Our companies are doing post harvest and supply chain management, but the seed supply and nursery companies or the nearby universities or the KVKs can easily suggest the best disease control for the tomato. It's also depend on the variety of seeds and many weather condition with the soil health. Soil health particularly is now decreasing, and different pattern of raining and dry season due to climate change also affecting the. So there are no any particular disease control system, but it depends on the weather, soil, and seed varieties.
Okay. Next question. How can I enhance tomato crop yield and quality through modern agricultural practices?
Yes, in China is the largest tomato growers in the world, and I have our partners and technical institution support of in Netherlands. They are growing they growing tomato in greenhouses. So the modern technology, the greenhouses production nearby metros or big cities is a good option for a regular supply of higher quality tomato at comparatively cheaper prices.
Okay.
But in that case, we are slightly shifting from involving of all the producers, the current producer, the farmers, in our supply chain management. So if we look only quality supply of tomato with production only and not thinking about well-being of farmers, then the greenhouses are good. But if we are looking that yes, these tomato growers also need their livelihood system through the supply chain. The current production system need to be strengthened.
Okay. And what are the key factors influencing tomato market prices, and how can I time my harvest for optimal profits?
One, as I explained, the seasonality. In India, we have monsoon arrival in July, in late June, and in July, all the tomato in plains area due to rain are merged in flood. And during flooding, we cannot harvest tomato in Gangetic Basin. So that is one for particularly these 2 months, June and July and August. We need to produce those tomato in higher land of the country, and then we need to design a supply system. Also, the rain at one hand disturb the harvesting of tomato, but on the other hand, it's also disturb the transportation system. Due to flooding, the roads are not good, and we cannot transport our tomato from one place to other quickly. And because of very short, very perishable crop, the tomato are going to burst. And to overcome this problem, we need a good transport system with the with the support of refrigerated van or something like that to keep our tomato for longer in the case when roads are not good. And also, we need some kind of short or medium term storage system at the marketplaces in the APMCs or at consumers storage system. So yeah, there are many solution we need to design at different stages.
Okay. And what are the best irrigation methods for optimizing water usage while maintaining healthy tomato plants?
Irrigation, the drip is good. If farmers are opting that drip irrigation system from plant to plant, it will help less consumption of water, for better growth of the plant.
Okay. And how can I access reliable sources of tomato seeds or seedlings that are suited for, for my local climate?
Yes, that is very tricky question. Generally, the seed supply company are giving the seeds to the middleman and to the farmers right now, and all claims that their seeds are good. But the farmers collectives or the universities or the research center need to validate the claims of those companies. Also, farmer need to opt for multiple seeds, multiple varieties, because in some climatic condition, some varieties are good, and in other climatic condition, some varieties are not that much good. In dry weather, some varieties yield better. In wet or humid weather, some varieties yield better. So it's depend a wise, a very good planning for choosing seed and opting for the multiple varieties.
Okay. And next question, what are the export possibilities for tomatoes and how can I ensure compliance with international quality and safety standards?
We are from India, generally supplying, exporting tomato to Middle East and Maldives. Not too many companies, and also our competitive supply system for export from apart from UAE and Maldives, not that much good, because China is capturing the market nearby, and China is supplying at very reasonable prices with good quality. So I don't know that there are possibilities, yes, but first we need to strengthen our domestic market. If our supply chain in domestic markets in different regions, linkages of regional production is good and established well, then only we can think to export. But in my opinion, if we look only in our domestic market from one region to other, our farmers can get better livelihood support, and our consumer can get tomato for their everyday meals.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the potential opportunities for value addition in the tomato value chain, such as processing or packaging innovations?
Huge, huge, huge. We need to focus on making puree, ketchups. Also, two three companies in Maharashtra, one in Pune and also in Gujarat, they are preserving tomato during when the prices are low, and they are selling the canned tomato. In a cane, they are preserving tomato. They peel tomato. They preserve them and with the good technology, and they are selling this canned tomato at very reasonable prices. So, if in one region or one market or one production area, the tomato production in particular time is good, we can process, we can cane them and then sell during off season. We can process for puree or we can process for tomato ketchup, and we can use these products produces for in the place of fresh tomato when prices are high and when the seasons are off.
Okay. And next question.
There are huge potential of tomato processing.
Okay. How can I establish efficient transportation and storage systems to minimize post-harvest losses?
Simply to go for a cold chain, efficient cold chain, which are not that much available in India for any fresh produce at very high scale. Now it's started picking a little bit, but not very much. Only in some part of Western India and also in Karnataka, Andhra, and Telangana in South. But in other areas, the cold chains for supply of fresh fruit and vegetables are not available. As per the climatic zone, climate condition of our country, humid, hot and humid, we need the cold chain supply system with storage, with rougher transport, and with pre-coolers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how can I establish partnerships with local farmers to ensure a consistent supply of quality tomatoes for my processing business?
To form their collectives as per any given law, either a cooperative or mutual benefit trust or a farmer producer company, and then we can make joint ventures with them. That is very simple in terms of making joint ventures with farmer collectives. But first, we need to collectivize the farmers in their production area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what technologies are available to streamline tomato processing and increase efficiency? How can I differentiate my tomato-based products in a competitive market and build a strong brand reputation?
There are many technology providers, many companies who are good in making equipment, machinery, and technology for processing tomato to make tomato ketchup or puree or these canned tomato. Lot of companies are there. Lot of technology providers are there. One can search on internet, and there are a list. Yeah.
Now we have the last question. What financing options are available to support the expansion of tomato-focused business?
Ministry of Food Processing, Government of India having many schemes. Kisan Sampada like schemes is there for establishing processing unit, also the production, and there are banks are also interested to financing the tomato or any fresh produce business, either it's production or processing or distribution. One can contact NABARD or Ministry of Food Processing for the financial assistance. National Horticulture Board also. With many state food processing consortium are also there. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for the detailed talk and answering all the questions in depth. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, I will.